Great. So, but before I begin, one more comment. We're just to be clear, we're not an Israeli company, but we did celebrate the fact that we can have a minyan in our company just very recently. So that was pretty cool. So the core team, I guess I'll introduce myself real quickly. So I am originally from Israel, and I started doing tech maybe 15 years ago at the Air Force. I actually was trained by Lockheed Martin at the time, so kind of when they got started. So my background was always sort of on the convergence between product design and consumer electronics. So one of my, I guess, claim to fame, or the biggest thing I feel I've done in Israel is had a chance to co-found and run the R&D center for Samsung in Israel and grow that to a shop of well over 100 engineers and ship multiple products and multiple handsets and so on. So that was a really terrific school. I followed my wife to MIT, met with a great team that became the core team of Formlabs, which I'm going to tell you all about today. So, yeah, so basically, this is sort of our world. How many of you have ever used a 3D printer? So that's like less than 3%. So imagine, 3D printers today are kind of different sizes between, a washing machine, a bigger washing machine, and they're fairly complex, and you probably need someone more trained to operate them. They can do amazing things, so form, a physical shape out of a CAD model, essentially. So it's pretty cool. However, it's not accessible for people like that. This is Pip. She goes to the Media Lab with us. And she has access to all these great tools. The problem is once those guys graduate and they go start their own businesses and so on, there's like nothing they can actually use that even resembles closely to the quality and accessibility of what we have actually in school. So that was the key motivator, the problem we wanted to solve. And it was pretty handy to have Max, who's in that corner of the room over there, if you can raise your hand. So yeah. Max was actually, spent a bunch of his early undergrad years buried in a lab in Cornell, designing desktop 3D printers. So when he kind of thought on what's the best way to do this, he surveyed a bunch of technologies, ending up with stereolithography, which is kind of the golden standard for 3D printing. So this is a process of curing a resin, liquid plastic if you like, layer by layer making it into a solid object. Now, it's not enough just to do that, it needs to be completely unoffensive in your environment, and this is sort of where I come in, where you have, designers and engineers really like aesthetic objects, and usable object, that become something of if you like it, an object of desire, something that I want to see in my studio or in my office, and it would sort of fit with how I actually work. So. You can be your own judge, but this is sort of what we have here. So, but in Formlabs, we also have this thing, and we need to mark them very clearly. As you can see, this is a 2D printer. And there are moments and times when the word disruption was sort of thrown out here, saying like, there's set of technologies once you have them, you're never going back. So I think you guys would agree 2D printer is one of them, right? Nobody would live in a world without a 2D printer. Now, I'm not saying we're there just yet with 3D printers, but certainly, what we would like to see is how 3D printing becomes completely routine. And that is something that we simply do not have for many reasons. And unfortunately, I don't have all the time in the world to explain that today, but we'll show this printer, and I'd love to talk with everyone about that. So 3D printing is used for many things, and you all are sort of direct customers or indirect customers, however you would like to put it, from medical devices to product design, architecture, and of course the do-it-yourself movement that is growing. And yeah, there are many things you can do with a 3D printer, and it's really about freedom. So it's about giving you the ability to quickly iterate and get a product done or a project done, just with having a computer and this magic machine on your desk. And so the way we like to think about it, this is sort of give you an insight to the process, how this sort of very quickly evolved. And we started from prototypes and going through ergonomics and tons of sketches and models, and ending up with the Form 1, which is the machine you see right here in front of you. And this is sort of an exercise in elimination, which designers really like. It's a really powerful board. We like to eliminate, make things simple. So if you look at this machine, and I hope it's powered up, yeah. So it's just a single button machine, and through that you can kind of interface. There's a single USB cord you connect to a computer, and there's a software you power up, used to talk to this machine after you power it up, and it prints objects like this, basically. Now, yeah, this is just another sexy shot of the object. And moving on to the business, so Kickstarter was our first big launch. And Kickstarter is an amazing platform, and for us it was a way to access an amazing pool of early adopters that looked at this product and said, that's what we need, and this sort of helped us validate our product market fit. And we were pretty astonished and immediately developed a communication channel with those folks who gave us everything from hard questions to amazing comments, and really voted with their dollars. And so we've managed to sell over 1,000, well over 1,000 of this product after by the end of this campaign. And this also did something that we were pretty humbled with. And once you see your product in sort of a wired cartoon, then you kind of understand, and it's kind of like happening in front of your eyes. It's like a brand is forming. So that was pretty cool, and we're still seeing the impact of every now and then. You see someone ripping off our pictures or using this, because if you think about it, there's no concept of what is a 3D printer like in your head. Some of you may have heard about other companies, but in fact, that really doesn't exist in mass consumer. This is a really simple way to look at the market, but this is how we see it. So we think anybody who can run and drive a CAD program should basically use a 3D printer, and you can sort of look at the numbers today. And so this is sort of where opportunity lies. And shortly after Kickstarter, we've launched a Form store where we sell the Form 1 on pre-orders. If you would like to get one, please go visit and buy one. It'll be quick because they're running out. The price point is sort of designed for this customer that we have in mind, which is a prosumer customer. These are the type of people who would buy a Canon 7D and would not even hesitate, or a MacBook Pro. And this is for discretionary expenses. So if you're IDEO, you're not going to think twice about putting this in every project, for example. And we offer the full package. So this is a piece of hardware, this printer, and the software, and the resin, and a kit that helps you post-process the part, which is a fundamental part from every printing experience. Yes.
Natan, unfortunately, we only have a minute left, but
yeah.
What I'd like you to do is, this is really impressive, and
yeah.
If you haven't had experience with 3D printing, you should get it. Tell everybody 10 years from now, fast forward, where is 3D printing?
I don't know. let me finish this for 53 seconds. I think I'll be fine. So this is the software. And here, this is how resin actually looks like in our tank. And this is the finish kit. And this is, if Max taught me many things, but one thing I keep remembering when he said this, it's about the parts. So I really encourage you guys to come and check out parts. And yeah, and about 10 years and 20 seconds now. I think we're pretty much far away from having a printer at everyone's desk. This is not, not everyone, you all print documents and everybody needs to print a document, but not everybody needs to make a physical thing. Let's just be clear about that. Definitely there's a lot of avenues this can go into, and manufacturing is certainly one of them. But there's still sort of I think a gap that we need to fill where this technology will mature, become accessible, simple to use, and understood by the professionals, and it will find its way and trickle down market. What we're after, and the way we like to think about this is we're after the single print, single click print. Nobody has done that yet, and this is certainly a step in the way, but we're a little bit, there's a lot more work to do, and we certainly plan to do it. So please come check out the printer.